How do you maximize your profits as an MSP? Or even how much profit, what percent profit should you be making on every single sale? That's what we're diving into in today's video. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs with sales training and marketing. Before I get into today's video, I do have to mention two quick things as always. Number one, there is a masterclass down below on pricing. Not only pricing, but the packages, the pros and cons of each, and what might actually be right for your business. I promise you that masterclass is going to help you make significantly more money. And number two is come hang out with us in the Discord. We are well past 300 members. It is super, super cool. It is a fantastic community from beginners all the way to the seven-figure MSPs and beyond. We hang out in there. Sometimes we do some live Q&As, some live trainings. I encourage you, just come and hang out. You'll be surprised how much you actually learn. So let's actually talk about the profits. How do you maximize the profit? Let's talk about the profit margins and what realistically goes in. Now, what is a profit margin, right? You're going to buy something and you're going to sell something. Now, in this case, you're buying a bunch of different software typically, and you're selling, in a lot of cases, that software, but you're also selling you and your employees' time is the service and is the thing that you're actually selling. So as you go through this, if you run a 0%, you're not going to make any money, right? And if you run a 500%, you're probably not going to get any customers. So what does that sweet spot actually look like? Well, every MSP is going to be completely different. The vast majority of MSPs, depending on the size and how good you actually are, range from 25 to about 75%. Now, I'm sure that there are some running less profit and percent profit and profit margins, and all I could say is Godspeed. And I'm sure there's MSPs that are charging that are at 100%, 120% profit, and if you're closing those deals, I'd love to talk to you because that's incredible. Honestly, I mean, but that's a typical range. Like, you can realistically think if you want to make, I don't know, let's just say $100 an hour, and you want to bring home $100 an hour, and you need to sell your services, you need to charge, right, $175 an hour, right? That's 75% margin. So that way you can bring home 100 and your company can take the additional 75. Now, this is obviously from a business standpoint and a business owner standpoint, but that is part of it. But there's some factors that influence those margins, and we're going to be diving through that, as well as figuring out your actual pricing and where you can realistically make money. I'm going to jump into here to one of our pricing calculators, and this is included in the masterclass down below. But the cool part about this, and this is our own pricing calculator, you can see here, you have server server support, configurations, patching, cloud service, Office 365, Google Workspace, industry-specific cloud programs. If you're going to go resell those, help desk support, on-site support, remote support, I mean, it's all in there. And depending on what you want to include, maybe different pricing, computer speed-ups, break fix, you can actually go through and figure out, hey, for this customer, right, I have maybe 10 computers that need patching, they need Office 365, they need help desk support, they need remote 24/7, and obviously $10 for that is far too cheap. But let's say for 10 people, and 2 hours or 2 vendor liaison packages, you're looking at $1,570 per month. Now, the nice part about this is going to show you whatever numbers that you put in. You can put these numbers in with your profit margins built in, or you can take this number and increase it by 75%. And that's the coolest part about it. So you're looking at, like, realistically, maybe right around just over the $2,000 mark, and you're going to fall in that 70 to 75%. Yes, I know it's a little bit more than that, but it's a good starting point to get you to start making money. That's the coolest part about it. And then you could go through and see your one-off services and figuring out what profit margin you really want to have. Maybe it's a 25% profit margin, and you look at this number and say, okay, that's 25%. Doing some quick math here, you're probably right around $1,800, $1,900 at a 25%. That's fantastic. And sorry, I meant to say just under 3,000 before. I'm looking at my math now, and I'm not that good at math on the fly here. I would use a calculator just like this to figure out those numbers. And you can see number of PCs, number of users. You can see if you wanted to offer a discount, right? All of that good stuff built out in here. But let's talk about, because now you have a number. You can see the actual number, which is really, really important. Let's talk about what you can do to increase your profit margins, because ultimately, and I get a lot of slack or a lot of hate for, I shouldn't say hate. I get a lot of comments about this, but in all honesty, we want to make more money. You don't go into business to not make money. If you did, you would call yourself a non-for-profit, but you're going into business to make this every single month. Movie theater money, by the way. But let's talk about the first and most important thing. Automations. You gotta automate anything that you can automate in your business, from invoicing with Zomentum or your auto billing with Zomentum, from putting your leads into a funnel to have them come through. You can have that happen with Go High Level. You can write scripts, you can build processes, and anything that could be automated in your business, you should start automating on day zero. That should be the number one focus, because the more you can automate, the more money you're going to make. Even having something like this done already is going to be huge. And seeing all of this brings me to my second thing, which is going to be your value added services. Now, those could be vendor management, right? Where you're dealing with those. Those could be additional services that you're going to resell. That could be selling ink. That could be working on the machines. That could be literally anything with technology. VoIP, dealing with the security cameras and selling the software for that. Something like Cumulex. There is a long list of things that you could value upsell, which is going to help increase the customer value and is ultimately going to help increase that profit that you're going to be making. Maybe not so much the profit margin, but the more you sell can result in more actual profit. Now, with all of this, you also want to start to take into consideration your financial management and taking control of your finance. A lot of MSPs kind of look at finance like this, and I can tell you confidently that doesn't work. You have to factor that in. This calculator is the best starting point, and we have a more advanced one if you're really interested. There's a link down below called MSP Heroes. There's an even better one than this one, but you have to start thinking about, as you go through this entire process, is your pricing packages, your pricing strategies, and covering your cost control. Understanding, hey, this is the retail price of it. Maybe it's your price that you want to add on a little bit more, and you could start to tweak, modify, and adjust to ultimately boost up that revenue. Cost control is crazy, and there is something called subscribing yourself to death, where you take out your credit card and you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take out this credit card and I'm just going to subscribe to everything. There is a point when you start to forget about things. You don't want to subscribe yourself to death. It hurts, and it just keeps bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and you keep losing money every single month. And the last ones are dialing in your marketing. The better your marketing is, the more you understand your target customer, the better off you're going to be. You should be going into the buyer persona and dialing in your buyer persona, because the better marketing you do for your specific customer, I can't stress this enough. I hear this every single day when I meet with you guys, that you don't know who to target, or you're like, I want to help everybody. I'm telling you, your profits go way up when you actually dial in your buyer persona. I'm going to zoom out a little bit on this, but go through it. There's a link down below. There's 8 sections to fill out. And when you know who to target, everything becomes so much easier. Your marketing becomes easier. Your sales become easier. Your sales strategies become easier. Your pricing keeps getting better and better and better, because you're buying more bulk of the exact softwares that your customers want. And guess what? The expertise of your I almost said clients, your employees, and you goes up, which means you're going to resolve more tickets faster, which increases profits and helps drive down costs. It's the best thing, going through that buyer persona and figure out exactly who you want to help, even if it's a couple different industries, 2 or 3, maybe even 4, stretching it out there, but be razor focused on them. Pairing that with the pricing calculator and knowing that you need to make on average between 25 and 75%. And if you're really, really good, maybe a little bit higher than that. But that 25 to 75% profit margin area is gold. It's going to help you put more of this in your pocket. And that's why you're in business. And that's why you work so hard. So first, go grab the links all down below, but sit there and think about what margins are you actually running. The more margins, the better off you're going to be. And you're going to sit back and say, I feel like I don't work that hard for this money. And that's the best thing in the world. I promise you. I hope you guys found some value in this video. I enjoyed doing this one. I think profit margins are something that not enough MSPs talk about, but this seems to be the running average for most MSPs out there, at least from the vast majority I've talked to and the research that I've done. This is the area. If you could run more than that, God bless. And if you run less than that, you might want to turn up that profit margin area a little bit more. It'll make your life a lot better. Other than that, appreciate the heck out of you guys. Grab those links down below. I love you guys. I'll see you in the Discord. Till next time.